Too many people are shilling data engineering like it's the best thing that you can get into, and all of them know that they're just full of it. If you stay for too long in a data engineering role, you're going to end up doing maintenance and you simply degrade.
Hey guys, today we're looking into the video, It's Over, Becoming a Data Engineer is a Scam. I'm excited to hear what he says here. It's a catchy topic, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also find the link to the original video in the description and go over there and hit like.
Becoming a data engineer is a scam and is not worth it. Let me explain. I'm going to start with the data engineering roadmaps, then with the data engineering job market, data engineering fads, and then the state of data engineering today. First things first though, if I would have to start all over again, how I would learn data engineering today. First, master command line basics. Next, practice SQL. SQL, for both the good and the bad, is still the standard language for interacting with databases and for data manipulation. Next, learn how to move data from one point to another. Now, the big thing is that you need to load data incrementally from a data lake and then stream that data using Event Hub to a database, or various variations of this. You see, I almost lost you. I mean, look.
Well, yes and no. I think the general idea is good. Forget about the unique stuff. SQL. Learn how to extract data from a database, learn how to transform it a bit with Python and write it somewhere, or from an API with Python. I think that's these are good solid advices. Here's more thing with Docker that I agree with, and distributed data warehouse, basically analytics store, Snowflake, BigQuery, Athena. That's all stuff. Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Even 30 more seconds of this and you would have just clicked away, but hey,
maybe
it's not your fault. It's kind of boring stuff, so be honest.
Come on, it's not boring stuff. This is all interesting. This is all interesting. If you think this is boring, engineering is not for you.
With yourself. And you gotta be honest with me as well. I'm really passionate to move data from point A to point B. I'm really passionate about joins and aggregations. I like them too, to be honest, but just for a while and when I actually need to do this type of task, not to do this every day. So how does data engineering help you to evolve?
I mean, yes, doing the same thing every day will get boring, right? But I would say the engineer's job is not just sending data or getting data from point A to point B. We're doing so much more than that. Rudimentary, when you look deep down, yes, most of the things, but there's a lot of communication with other people, trying to figure out what are our goals, what exactly do you need, selecting the right tools. Of course, if you're in a larger company, there would be most likely less of this because the environment is already set. But if you're in a smaller company and you're just starting out, this is amazing, amazing.
Let me tell you, it doesn't, because except for getting a low-paid job as a data engineer, there's not much else that you can actually do with it by just moving data from one point to another, by aggregating it and joining it. All of this just to help business teams create more random dashboards at the end when you actually deploy those pipelines. You gotta realize that data engineers are just the help for business analysts and for product managers, because once you created a data architecture and you set up some data pipelines, the work becomes boring. Unless you actually...
That's actually a good point. It's a good point. Engineering is here to help, right? There is no need for the whole engineering stuff without actually having the goals of the business, of the analysts, of improving the business, solving a problem that they have. So of course, yes, this is an important thing. And engineering is not just done for the fun of engineering. I mean, if you're building a plane, you're not doing the building of the plane just for fun. You have this with a goal in mind. So I think that makes sense. So of course. And yes, once everything is set up and once it's just one more thing on top, or doing this stuff all over again, it can get boring, yeah.
Move on to do the same for a different company. Because if you stay for too long, you're not going to have much impact. Can you really create a product with this skill set alone? Will you be respected at work? And will people ask for your opinion about the...
I need to go back. So yeah, of course, engineers are not super respected within the company very often, especially in leadership or in management. We're a nuisance. We have to be there, otherwise stuff doesn't work. So it's sometimes difficult, right? Because people are only looking at the money and the time spent, but not what we actually deliver. And usually Are you doing the same thing whenever you switch companies? Most likely not. It depends on the use case. If you drill it down to moving data from point A to point B, maybe, but like I think there's more to it.
Skill set alone? Will you be respected at work? And will people ask for your opinion about the products that you're supporting? Let me break it down to you. No, you're there to fix the plumbing just in case it leaks. So at best,
Plumbers of data science, guys. Plumbers of data science. I'm saying this forever. Plumbers of data science.
they're going to keep you around because you're supporting some important infrastructure. But the keyword here is supporting. So except for consulting and helping multiple companies with their data engineering needs, you won't be using data engineering to build something impactful past the initial solution design stage.
Building something impactful past the initial solution design. I mean, without the engineering, you cannot build anything substantial. So I don't know if I agree here.
After that is just maintenance. So who wants to just be a maintenance guy? Listen,
No, that's
I'm
true.
consulting.
That's true. If people are starting and like you have it built and everything is rolling and there's no new features added, then it can get boring. I think so. I think so. Let's quickly go.
After that is just maintenance. So who wants to just be a maintenance guy? Listen, I'm consulting on data engineering, and at the same time I'm doing the same for AI and for solution architecture. And I'm doing that on a narrow stack like Azure and Databricks. So I'm a plumber as well, depending on what the client asks me to do. So don't think that I'm dismissing the importance of the work, but actually let's talk about the important infrastructure that we support. Because companies...
Yeah, so the work is important. Yes, at some point we're going to have to do maintenance on the stuff that we actually deployed. So we'll become a maintenance guy, and usually whenever, so jump ship, try to get another job, try to do other things in other companies with different platforms, with different data, with different goals. I think it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Companies like Databricks, like Snowflake and Microsoft, they're constantly releasing new tech that tries to automate away all of the parts of the ETL process. And that's great, okay? Because most of the work nowadays is around the extract part. So they're moving towards a no-code or low-code approach for this area. But the majority...
It's actually interesting. Last week, now depending on when you watch this, when I record this, last week I had a stream with Airbyte, and they were showing like how easy it is to actually move data with their tool. Right, because people can create connectors or use standard connectors and easily do transfer the data from point A to point B. So yes, people are working on automating this because it's super boring work. Who wants to do this? Like, I think data modeling and actually designing the whole pipelines, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to look at, will it get expensive? How can we automate stuff? That is the interesting part.
Majority of these tools are now doing, they're pretty much just connectors to other SaaS services for data ingestion. And once you get the extract part out of the way, and then you get the load parts out of the way, then all you will be left is with the transform part. And okay, these are custom, so you're going to still have something to do because you're going to still need to look at some critical transformations and some custom solutions. But then you actually get into the solution architecture area because you're going to need to make sure scalability and maintenance are straightforward. So how many people do you think a company will need to achieve this?
Of course, not a lot. Companies will not need a lot of people to achieve this. Once it's built, once it's designed, then like you only need a few people to design it, right? So, and I mean, I always see this like he shows it like there's a simple, you extract it, you transform it, you load it somewhere. But actually a good solution design has multiple steps, has multiple tools involved, has multiple, let's say, pipelines involved where the data is flowing. So it's not that simple as like everything is a simple ETL job and that's done. So, but let's hear what he says next.
And do you think they're going to need junior people for this? I don't think it will need every data scientist that decided that now they just love data engineering and MLOps. Or the new grads that are just trying to decide whether to pursue data engineering. Because this is a trend that I see now a lot. Because every data scientist suddenly realized that they love data engineering. Really. Now, everybody...
It's true. It's because people were, so there are two things. First, sometimes people were lured into that data science area, although they would have been better engineers, or that would have fitted better to them, because everybody was talking about data science and like, oh man, oh my God, you need to become a data scientist, you make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And people were just falling into the trap and following it. On the other side is also data scientists actually need to do the engineering part as well, especially in smaller companies. And they find out that, oh, I actually like this. This is fun. So,
You realize that data engineering is the most important thing. Come on. The hive mind in this industry is incredible. And whenever I see people that are just saying these type of things, I realize that they spend too much time on Reddit. And since data science is dead, long live data engineering. So here's the first reason why it's a scam. Too many people are shilling data engineering like it's the best thing that you can get into. And all of them know that they're just full of it because they realize that they cannot really get a job with their previous skill set. So now everybody's talking about DevOps and data engineering because they're core, okay? And the experimental roles like data science are not that hyped up anymore. So there's a whole lot of influencers that are pushing this because now they know that the market is slow for many other roles.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like the notion of now data science is terrible and everybody needs to become a data engineer. I think that is absolutely the wrong thing. Like, you need to find out if this is something interesting, if this is something you like, try it out, get a course. But like, I agree. Like, there are downsides to it. And like he said, it can get boring, especially in larger companies where everything is laid out for you. You only have to do the transformations. Oh my God, that's terrible. That's terrible. This would also be nothing for me because this will get boring. And yeah, especially for people who want to go further. But yeah, like data science is there and it's going to be staying here.
Now, DevOps and data engineering is good, right? And literally they're good, okay? Because there's nothing more exciting to do. And listen, I get that, but the market is still slim for this type of roles when we think about how many people are out there just trying to do the old switcheroo from various industries into data engineering. So let's look at the data engineering job market.
So there are a lot of people trying to switch because their job is getting boring, right? So when I look at, for instance, people who are in my coaching program, there are a lot of people that are coming from analyst and they want to actually become an engineer because they find out or they experience that analyst is going to get boring or is getting boring. They're just doing SQL. They're only doing joins and so on and working with prepared data, but they actually want to take it one step further and they want to actually get into the engineering and prepare their own data and build pipelines, be basically more self-sufficient. And that is very cool. I mean, then it's fun because people do this, they want to go out, they want to learn more, which makes it important to be more self-sufficient. And I think that's a really cool case. Of course, there are also other cases where they come from computer science or data science. But yeah.
Does it have enough jobs available for every data analyst, for every data scientist, and for every grad that wants to land a data engineering job? You can take any data engineer job description out there and it will include everything that you can think of in data engineering. And it's also going to include everything that you can think of in DevOps and of course a lot more other skills that you need to have.
But is that a problem of data engineering? I think that is a problem of bad hiring, of bad job descriptions. Like, who needs everything? One thing I would say where this is okay is in consulting roles because they are going to work with many companies and they need to have a broad knowledge of the platforms and tools and so on. But most companies just put everything in there which they don't really need. So it's not the fault of engineering. It's the fault of the companies who have bad hiring tactics.
Even that won't be enough because for sure nobody can meet all of the requirements if they've been actually working. And even more so if they haven't been working or if they've been just doing data engineering maintenance in their previous job. Because when you work, right, you have a very narrow focus. You're not touching on every wish list item from a company's job description. And if you stay for too long in a data engineering role, you're going to end up doing maintenance and you simply degrade. You're always going to feel that you just need to learn one more thing.
But that's a good thing, and that's exactly, I fully agree. And that's also something why I built my academy, why people come to my academy. Like, they are working with a stack, they have experience, but they are locked into one company and it's getting boring. So they are trying to either make the full switch completely, or they want to add stuff to their knowledge. So if it's an analyst, they want to make the switch, or if they're an engineer already and they are actually getting bored, like, learn a new tool, try a new project. That is something super important. And I have to say, I also fell into that trap. I was way too long on a platform with Hadoop and with Spark and Kafka, and should have gone to the cloud a lot earlier.
Because all companies ask for different things in interviews. For example, you're going to need to parse some JSON using Python or SQL, or maybe do some lead codes, because that's something that you're going to definitely need to do on the job. Or maybe you got to write some Spark jobs to get some data from some random sources. Or you need to dive deep into Spark or Kubernetes or Docker or whatever they can think of. And at one point, you're just going to fail, because unless you just learn all day and you just memorize things, you will only have deep experience at a given point in time with only a subset of tools.
That is exactly right. Like, you can't know everything, you can't be an expert in everything. It's completely normal. You're getting an expert into solving problems, into basically finding problems, solving them, and then memorizing, okay, that was the problem. And you can't do this with everything. And because, like, when I see people expect so much from people, it's so dumb.
So another reason why it's not really worth it is because the goalposts keep moving. You got to keep learning, you got to keep pushing that boulder, up the hill, but you never really get to the destination. And let's say you do, let's say you get to that destination, then you plateau.
What's the destination? Like, is there a destination in engineering? I feel like this is a very strange setup. Like, we're doing things because they're fun, and once it's no more fun, you should switch the job. You should search for something new. You should try to look into a different use case or a different platform. So I don't know.
Go again until the next time you need to start pushing that boulder up the hill again. And
also, this always depends on also the level that you want to hire, right? Or want to get hired. That's what I mean. If you're searching for an earlier role, a junior role, or like earlier role with 1-2 years of experience, the goalpost or the amount of stuff that you have to know is not that large as when you'll search for a senior or a role above that, right? So that's also something you need to keep in mind.
Understand this might not be 100% not worth it, because if you work hard enough, you're going to get there. But for how long can you do this when a new stack comes out every couple of months? There are so many data engineering fads that came out and went throughout the years that at one point you just start thinking, why even learn this? Some abstract concept like
what was that? That's some data engineering fads. I almost learned R instead of Python. No, MongoDB was literally everywhere for a while and almost never had heard about it anymore. No, MongoDB is still here, and people are still using this. Document databases still have their thing. They are still good. Or some other formulae. Okay. Bonus hot take: which current data engineering topic do you think will end up being an afterthought? I don't know yet, but like, I think these are R is more for the scientist than for the engineer. I always tell people all the time.
At one point, you just start thinking, why even learn this? Some abstract concept like data mesh that literally can mean anything that a company wants it to mean. And
that's why I hate data mesh. Like, everybody's talking about the data mesh. Oh, we need a data mesh here, I need a data mesh there, and data mesh is this, data mesh is this. It's such a loosely defined term that it can mean anything. I hate this.
I think these data engineering fads are great because businesses really like them, because it gives them a new way to raise money and get internal funding. Because when
no, No.
A company decides that now they need to move to a medallion architecture or create a data mesh, then it creates projects and then it creates work for the people in that company. And then
No. That's not going to happen. That is not happening. Nobody gives 2 cents about the engineering. Nobody is going to set up new departments, new projects just because of the engineering. We need to do data engineering. We need to do medallion architecture or whatever. This is not going to happen. The only reason why companies are creating new projects is data science. Basically, the things that they always tell: data science, AI, Gen AI, machine learning. These kind of things, they still are the big goal setter, because what they promise companies is more revenue, more insight. Basically, yeah, the goal is basically more revenue. And with engineering, the only thing that you can say is we're going to spend a lot of money and burn it. That's why leadership is only going to react to something that will get revenue, and engineering is not the case. And engineering projects are not cool within the company. No.
And managers can get a pat on the back. And this keeps things moving until next year, right when they need to find another reason to get funding. But the benefit for you, except maybe getting a job on the new stack, maybe you don't need more than that, and maybe that's okay? Maybe you're just comfortable with getting a job, but keeping busy, relearning the same things over and over again, it just erodes you. So how can you make data engineering not feel like it's a scam, and how to make it worth it? You need to choose a stack, and you got to focus on that, and you got to milk it for as long as you can. Don't try to be good at everything that a company throws in these job descriptions. You got to pick a stack and you got to roll with it. Don't limit yourself to data engineering.
I mean, this is a solid advice. Like, why should you jump around doing AWS, doing GCP, doing Azure, doing Spark, doing Flink, and all these tools? Try to get good at one. Like, let's say AWS. Try to get good at AWS. Of course, you can always sprinkle in a tool here and there, but you are not going to be able to learn everything. So focus on something and get good at something, and then it's going to be fine.
Choose a cloud service provider and get extremely good at their cloud offering on both engineering and DevOps. And this way, as new things appear on that specific platform, then it takes a minimal amount of time to get up to date. Yep. That's why getting cloud certified is a great thing.
Yes. I mean, that's a terrible look. Yes. I mean, if you're working on the platform and if you want to become good, at some point it's always the same thing as it always has been. You need the paper, the piece of paper, to have it as the certification. And only then you're deemed ready to do the nice work, the big work. Although you can also do it without the certification. So, but yeah, I also recommend to people, like, try, if you're into one cloud platform, do a certification. It's fine.
Makes you learn that cloud provider stack. And at Get That Badge, this is what we do. We offer practice exams to help you prepare for data engineer and for DevOps engineer certification exams. We currently have both Azure and Databricks practice exams, and we're adding more every week. So definitely check it out, because if you're looking for a way to support this channel, this is a way.
This is a cool thing. I like that. That is something, basically that's a different thing that I do with my academy, right? With the academy, I basically help you to get into new topics, to help you to do projects, to either step from 0 to hero in data engineering, or if you want to, again, like, jump to a data engineering or get better at it. And I'm not focusing on the certification part, but it's really cool that they do this, actually, like have the certifications there and then help you actually achieve the certifications, because these things are most of the time the same, right? And if you understand the topics, then you can pass the exam. And cool, I like this.
You support Decision Forest, and you support yourself by learning a new skill. The thing is that you cannot really know every stack out there and just jump on every new trend. Now it's data engineering and DevOps, because data science and data analysis doesn't get that much funding anymore. But if you want to be successful in the long run, try and be focused on your own stack and improve there. Don't just jump from one to another. You got to focus on the solution, focus on the industry. That's what really matters.
I mean, there are a few cool, really good things in there. I don't think data science is dead, like is gone. It's not hyped as much. Just the topics changed. They changed more, the hype topics, they changed more to Gen AI. Everybody is talking about Gen AI and less about the data science part, the general data science part. The AI topic is also burned out, so they moved to Gen AI. But it's still, in the back, it's still data science, right? You still need to do data science. Yeah, the topic with the stack, I think that is something very important that you have to keep in mind. Now, what was it here? He said something else that I wanted to react. One sec.
Try and be focused on your own stack. Now it's data engineering and DevOps because data science and data analysis doesn't get that much funding anymore. But if you want to be successful in the long run, try and be focused on your own stack and improve there.
Yeah. The one thing also that I wanted to say is basically for me, people were saying at some point, Andreas, you need to also do data science. You're a data engineer. You're only going to be a complete data engineer when you do data science and when you go the machine learning engineer route. Like, that was nothing for me. I never wanted to. And in the long run, it's still fine. It's still good. And so if you're interested in like a platform, go at that platform, go hard at that platform. And become the best. And then if you want, add new stuff to it. And always like focus on what you want to do, where you want to go. And if you feel stuck, it's try to learn something new. Again, learndataengineering.com if you want to learn something new in data engineering. I think that was a really cool video. Let's go over there. Let's click the like button here. It's from Decision Forest. I like this. The link here is in the description for the video. Go over there, spread some love with a thumbs up, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.